In this episode of Marina Queen, I fly back to Spokane and begin rehabilitating a few more engine parts, and I explain my reasoning behind the upcoming replacement of Frog's Leap's bow roller. My name is Rick. Join me as I refit sailing vessel Frog's Leap with an eye towards taking her to warmer places. I get to spend only a few days each month on the boat. That's why I call the channel Marina Queen. Well, I'm heading off the boat. I did get a chance to put a coat of varnish where that chain stopper was. You can kind of see it from here. Well, I'm back in Spokane now, and I brought 3 things home to continue that whole reform the rust. They were the aft lifting eye, also the alternator bracket, and finally the valve cover. The valve cover's aluminum. It wasn't rusting. It's just that the paint was coming off of it and it was an eyesore. So we'll paint that as well. So that's the aft engine lifting eye, and that is the alternator bracket. Had the rust reformer primer, got that on, and this is the first coat of the silver. We'll flip it over and then do a coat of silver on the other side, and then these will be done. Let's take a look at the valve cover. So this is the valve cover, and really all that remains is to remove these decompression levers, then it'll be ready to prime and paint. So these springs, these nuts, these 2 ball bearings, and these 2 levers make up the decompression lever parts list. So while this valve cover is being painted, I'm going to go ahead and keep them all together. Actually, I'm not going to keep these, have to be painted. So it really just becomes a matter of not losing these little bits. So we're going to put them all in there. So we'll just put them right here. And I've got these here as well. These are the bolts for the alternator, and they're pretty nasty. You can get kind of a sense. Look at these washers. So I'm gonna look to replace some of them and clean up these bolts. So I'm gonna use this nail remover. It's 100% acetone. tape over some of these parts. And I've also used some earplugs here. Quarters happen to be like the same exact size. And I don't think the paint's gonna knock them off. I'm just gonna set them on there and use that. Big, huge socket, big, huge socket. I think it'll block that off pretty well. So I'm just gonna do something like that and then hit it with the spray paint. So now I should be able to paint it. So you know it's a big priority of mine to get the ground tackle straightened out. And at the end of the last episode, I removed the bow roller from the port side of the bowsprit. So I want to talk a little bit about what was wrong with the bow roller and what kind of bow roller I'm going to put in. Well, I have the old bow roller with me, actually. It's right here. And there are two big reasons why I removed it. First is that it doesn't have a bail. Something that keeps the chain or the anchor line enclosed in there. So as it is, the chain or the anchor line could come out of the mouth here of the bow roller. And this could have catastrophic implications, because if you had line coming through here and it came out, yeah, it's line. You probably could get it over and put it back in here if you knew about it. You probably could do that safely, maybe. The chances are it's going to happen at night and you're not going to know about it. Or maybe it's going to happen when you're exploring on shore or something. And so then the line comes out and now it's chafing on the bowsprit. Worst case scenario, you find out about it in the middle of the night when the boat drifts aground and you feel the boat hitting the rocks. That's when you find out about it. So you can't have it without the bail. I mean, in my view, you have to have a bail here. And the other problem is that from the end of the bowsprit, which would be right here, your standoff distance to here is only an inch or two. On my boat, the fluke will contact the bowsprit and do damage to the bowsprit. And then the other issue is this thing was mounted on the port side of the bowsprit, and I have a windlass, a 12-volt electric windlass to the starboard side of the bowsprit. So really I need one with a bail and one with greater standoff distance for the modern anchor, and I need it to be on the starboard side. I accomplish that with this new bow roller. This is a Mantis BR1, and you can see it's substantially wider. It's made of thicker stainless. I think the stainless is actually a higher quality as well. And the bowsprit ends right here. So you can see now I've got 6 to 7 inches of standoff from the bowsprit. This bow roller is made for the modern anchors, the Rocknas and the Mantises. I mean, it's made by Mantis. So it addresses the other issue too of the bail. It'll get affixed right on there. So you're not going to have any of this middle of the night, your anchor rod bounces out of your bow roller and chafes off. It's not going to happen. Much better bow roller. I'm going to put this on the next visit. Well, thanks for watching this episode of Marina Queen. If you liked the video, please press that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more, press the subscribe button. Oh yeah, it feels good. I'll see you next week on the boat. New episode every Sunday. I'm not as think as you confused I am.
Oh yeah.